News Now. Nearly 24 Buddhist monks were welcomed in Annapolis as they finished their months-long walk for peace, which began in Texas last October.
No one can do this for us. We have to do it ourselves.
After reaching D.C. last week, they continued into Maryland, greeted by Lieutenant Governor Aruna Miller and 12,000 supporters before meeting privately with Black Governor Wes Moore and the First Lady. Students at Spelman College are raising concerns after learning a male staff member had been temporarily housed inside a residence hall at the all-women's school. Administrators say the faculty member has since moved out. Students also pointed to recent water outages in freshman dorms, saying both issues reflect a broader problem on campus. And Congress has officially renamed the House Press Gallery in honor of Frederick Douglass, recognizing his historic role as the first Black journalist admitted to the Capitol galleries in 1871. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Watch us on Facebook Live. Then hear us on WBOK1230.com.
Yo, turn it up. It's Gerod on the air, spitting truth in the booth. We ain't going nowhere. New Orleans City got its heart in the beat, but corruption creeping in, gotta take back the street. But corruption creeping in, gotta take back the street. From the French Quarter vibes to the Ninth Ward grind, he's the voice of the people, yo, he's one of a kind. Talking about the struggle, the hustle, the pain, but with each word he drops, he's bringing power to the game. Gerard on the radio, calling out the lies, bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. Try to silence the truth, but he's loud and clear. From the bayou to the block, everyone can hear. Got the people united, it's a movement, no doubt. With his mic in hand, he's breaking all the clout. City eat the official scheming, yeah, they playing it slick. But Gerard's on the line and he's ready to kick. For the schools and the streets, he's fighting the fight. With a heart full of passion, he's igniting the night. Gerard on the radio, calling out the lies, bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. From the jazz in the streets to the gumbo pot, he's the pulse of the city, giving all he's got. Together we rise, united we stand. With Gerard on the radio, we're taking back our land. So tune in, y'all, let the truth resonate. With Gerard on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. In the streets to the gumbo pot, he's the pulse of the city, giving all he's got. Together we rise, united we stand. With Gerard on the radio, we're taking back our land. So tune in, y'all, let the truth resonate. With Gerard on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. Gerard on the radio, calling out the lies, bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. Yeah, tuning out, let the truth resonate. With Gerard on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. Gerard on the radio, calling out the lies, bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. Yeah, let the truth resonate. With Gerard on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it loud, let's uplift this place. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I'm all hyped now. I'm going to run outside. I'm going to run outside. I'll be right back. Might be a little winded, but I'll be right back. What's going on, good people? How's everybody doing? Happy Lundi Gras to you. Man, I know that y'all ready for all this to be over with. And I got to tell you, I got to tell you, I'm going to admit to something that I didn't think I'd ever be admitting to. I'm getting old. I am. I'm getting old. I thought I was going to be able to hang out and be out there with the kids. So guess who I hung out with? I went to the Zulu Ball on Friday night. I was hanging out there with Suzette, Emile, the kids. I was out there. Mm-hmm. And I was hanging with them, and Dr. Rugon, and let me see who else. I saw former Congressman Cedric Richmond and his wife. Several judges. And then I went out there and hung with Wild Wayne. Me and Wild Wayne. Guess who was right there with me? Dr. Shepard. You know, using the words Dr. Shepard can be elusive. Because you would think that, you're talking about somebody that's doctorish, age-wise. We need to get that straight right now. Right now. Dr. Shepard is a young woman that know how to party. Oh, my God. Dr. Shepard was getting it in. She was getting it in. And I was saying to myself, I can't hang with her. She was like, G, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, Teddy Riley got the songs on. Let's go. Let's go. I'm going out here on the dance floor. I was like, see you later. That was at 3 a.m. Did y'all hear me? That was at 3 a.m. You know, I am usually 2 sheets in the wind at 3 a.m. I might be getting up to go pee. You know, the old man pee? I might be getting up. Mm-hmm. About 3:30, she was like, you want another drink? I'm like, what? You want another drink? No. I want to go to sleep. So I thought I was being smart because I didn't drive to the ball. I didn't drive. I was not going to be in all that traffic. So guess what I did? I Ubered. I got there good time. Good time. My Uber driver, she did what she was supposed to do. She got me there. Boom. Here you go, baby. See you later. I said, can I call you when it's time for me to get out? She said, probably not, because it's just going to be hectic trying to get back up in here. I was like, all right. So all night, I'm with my little phone. Everybody's like, take some pictures. Take some pictures. Click up. Click up. Click up, click up. Click up, click up. Click up, click up. And by the way, did I say click up? All night, I'm taking pictures. Until my phone looked at me and said, you have low battery. That was the end of the pictures because I had to call an Uber to get home, right? So I just basically stopped taking pictures and waited and waited. I thought Dr. Shepard was going to say, walk me to my car, G, because I'm tired. I'm ready to go because I didn't want to just leave her there. I didn't. I just didn't want to leave her there. I wanted to walk her to her car, make sure she was safe, and I was going to see her later. I'll see you next week. Dr. Shepard was not ready to go. Dr. Shepard was going to shut the place down. But me, I had enough. I looked at Dr. Shepard and said, I'll see you later. I'm getting ready to get up out of here. But that ain't all. Suzette, too, she in there talking about some, yeah, we gonna do this, we gonna do it. I'm like, no. I'm ready to go. I'll see y'all later. But I will say, Emil was sitting in that chair. I thought he was gonna go to sleep. Emil was ready to go too. So I was sitting right beside Emil. We looked like the two old granddaddies. Yes, we did. So I told him, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go out here to this little area where all the ride share people are going to, catch their ride and see if I can get my ride. So I'm walking out and look, anybody that know me, if you ever walk with me in a crowded area, please be prepared. You cannot walk straight to the door and go because everybody going to stop you. Hey, man, what's going on? G, take a picture. Hey, G, man, I heard the show today. You and Suzette be cutting up. Take a picture. Hey, Brother G, what's going on, man? I need to get on that show, man. Let's take a picture. Hey, G. Man, we love your show. We love the show. We love the show. And I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all really think that, that comes naturally. It does not. I really do appreciate folks that tell me that they enjoy the show. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You just don't know what that does for us. And then the other line, let's take a picture. I probably took about, from the time that I said, I'm going to see y'all later to get to the front door, I took about 20 pictures. Stopped to take about 20 pictures, which took me another 30 to 40 minutes. Because not only did you have to say, let's take a picture. Let me tell y'all what y'all said on that show today. What? I don't know if you realize this. I ain't say this to nobody, but I just want to say this. I don't even know if y'all realize this, but I just needed to let everybody know. I know what I said on the show. I said it. Suzette said it. I'm sitting right here beside her. It was funny. So at that time, I got my phone in my hand, looking up Uber. And I got my Uber out. And I said, press to get me an Uber at the area. My phone looks at me and says, I told you earlier when you was taking all them pictures that you ain't have enough battery. I was like, please, phone, just give me a little bit more battery until the man come. Till the man come. So I'm sitting there. I'm looking at the Uber map. The man's coming from across. God knows, I don't know how long, because it was so many parts, so many people out there. A ride that should have took about 10 to 15 minutes to get there was taking an hour. So guess who did not have enough hours on his phone to see if the man was coming and where he was going to pick you up at? That would be me. My phone went dead before the Uber driver got there. So I'm like, okay, maybe I can borrow somebody's phone and call the man and tell him that, my phone dead, but I'm here. Don't not come. Everybody was having the same problem. They couldn't get the Uber drivers into the area where they needed to get because traffic was so bad. So now it's 3:40. And the fog is rolling in because it got foggy, y'all. When I tell you it looked like somebody was coming in off the Mississippi River, it was foggy. My Uber driver never came. I just kept seeing all these nice couples dressed in their gowns and their tuxedos just getting into Ubers and driving off. I'm just sitting outside, just looking, and just looking. So I just said, you know what? I got to do something about this. And I'm guilty of it. I don't know whose it was, but whoever the man was that ran behind the Uber driver and was, hey, that's our Uber. That's our Uber. That's our ride. That was me in your truck, in your ride. I stole somebody's Uber ride. I did. I'm sorry. I apologize. Y'all don't know how much that bothered me all night until I went to sleep, which was 10 minutes later. It was 10 minutes later. Finally got home, and when I got home, it was like 10, 15 minutes. I think like 15 minutes to, I think it was 15 minutes to 5. And then I was supposed to get up for 7 to go to Namtok, to ride in Namtok. I was supposed to ride in Namtok. I had to apologize to Susan Hudson because I didn't go. My voice was gone. I couldn't even talk. Y'all don't know what that do to a person that talk all the time. I couldn't talk. My voice was gone. I had no voice whatsoever. And I didn't think that I was talking that loud. But you never know how loud you're really talking when you got all that music playing and it's loud in the convention center. So couldn't talk. So that happened on Friday. Saturday, I did not go to Namtok. I had a lot of folks on Sunday morning in church and also on the phone calling me and said, man, we didn't see you for Namtok. I didn't go because I'm not as young as I used to be. I stayed out too late. I really did. I was hurting. But that's what I really had to talk to you all about with the Mardi Gras issues. Because I posted on my page, if you all are my friends on my Facebook page, and I hope that you are, if you can't, you can follow because I got too many folks on there now. But I think you can follow still. But I'm at the maximum. But I wrote on my Facebook page, and evidently it set off a whole bunch of people. And the reason why I'm saying set off, because you all, I mean, folks that I never knew would even pay attention to my Facebook page are going on the Facebook page and making their comments. Black, white, young, old, it don't matter. I'm glad that everybody's commenting on it because I wrote a question. I don't think I was just making a statement. If you took it that way, then you just took it that way. But my statement this year about Mardi Gras, it just seemed to have, and I don't know if it's the time that we're living in, the space that we're in with all the stuff that's going on in the country, but it seems to me that something wrong. Especially when I turn on the news and one of the lead stories is about a mother who had to sit down and explain to her child why this little girl caught a little Barbie doll, a black Barbie doll, that was being choked or hung by some beads around her neck. Now, when I first saw it, and I saw a copy of it on the news, I saw the photos, I was thinking that maybe this was just something to bring some weight to it, so when they pitch it off of the float, you won't have that problem. Then I thought about it, and I was like, I really don't think grown men have a problem pitching beads or pitching a Barbie doll. I really don't think so. Because one of the ladies got on the Facebook page and she was making up all types of excuses saying, no, they're not being racist. They doing this and they doing that. Evidently, you know the person, which, I didn't question it. That was her opinion. Then secondly, it made me upset, the fact that we're living in a time where I think the man who's sitting in the White House is going to get somebody's butt kicked. Because if y'all are feeling empowered to do something like that, throw beads hard at children, wrap beads around their neck like you're hanging them, I'm talking about a little baby doll, and acting out, and it's called being racist. That's what it's being called. And then to hear that, you got the attorney general and you got the mayor and the city council folks having to make statements on the news about we don't stand for something like, what kind of dude, woman, whatever you are you? Are you feeling emboldened to do something like that? Because if you are, you're going to mess around and some of these dudes going to follow that float and yank your butt off of it. Then who would have ever thought that we would hear that our law enforcement, not once, but twice, have had to stop floats and tell these older white men mostly to get off of it because you're doing something to harm people. Y'all throwing alcohol on somebody that has a no ice sign. What? Come on. All right, so let's get into this conversation, y'all. What is going on for this Mardi Gras? I'm gonna read some of these comments we got already, and I want you all to comment too, because I know you heard about it. And the other one I got to talk about is why is Carr, the band from Carr High School, not marching in Namtok? What happened? Tell the truth. What really happened? Because everybody got a statement about it, but I think that we, as a community, wanted to see our kids marching in that big parade. Namtok is a huge parade, and I can tell you a lot of folks. I even had one lady told me she came from Atlanta to see her niece march in the parade, and she didn't. She didn't see her because they stopped them, and then they left. What's going on? 504-582-9422 is the number. More coming up, y'all.
I'm David Pontan Sr., owner of Whole Water and Food Over Medicine Academy, coach, consultant, and instructor. We're excited about our 21-day challenge. Stop, prevent, and reverse disease today. Cholesterol, diabetes type 2, high blood pressure, along with chronic illnesses and diseases. We believe that the gift of wellness is the greatest gift, and for $30 per month, $1 a day, you could have this gift for you and your family.
I'm Phyllis Washington, and I've benefited with health and weight loss.
For your gift of $30, healing and wellness can be yours. Call 504-701-4711. That's 504-701-4711. The Whole Water Store. See you at 2135 Washington Avenue today.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another open enrollment update. Who do I have on the line today?
Hi, you're speaking with Vanessa Scott of BSG of Louisiana.
Can you tell us a little bit about what is open enrollment?
The open enrollment period is for Medicare members that want to change from one plan to another.
Why is open enrollment so important?
Because a lot of people missed out on the annual enrollment period, so they need to have a one-on-one review.
And if you have questions or concerns about your Medicare plans, what should you do?
You just pick up the phone, call 504-621-3687. We even come out to your house. Zero cost to them.
Get with BSG of Louisiana for your Medicare review.
For church groups, senior communities, or disability organizations, call 504-621-3687. We are an independent insurance agency providing information about Medicare-related insurance plans. We are not connected or endorsed by Medicare or the U.S. government.
LifeCare provides valuable whole life insurance to cover final expenses such as medical bills, burial costs, and unpaid debt. A final expense insurance policy is fast, easy, affordable life insurance that's available to anyone between the ages of 50 and 80. No medical exams, no lengthy questionnaires, and no waiting period. The application process is quick and easy. You can even apply without having to undergo a medical examination. Just answer a few questions and we'll do the rest. With the average funeral cost skyrocketing to $11,000 and Social Security only paying $255, you need simple, affordable peace of mind for you and your whole family. Don't leave behind unpaid expenses that, if left unattended, will burden your family tremendously. Benefits include a guaranteed premium that will never increase, a guaranteed cash value, and a guaranteed death benefit that can never decrease. To find out how you can get final expense insurance with a guaranteed lifetime rate lock, call LifeCare at 800-571-9955. That's 800-571-9955. 800-571-9955.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
A mother says her young daughter caught a black doll with a string of beads around its neck at the Crew of Tucks parade yesterday. Now, she and city leaders are calling for consequences for the rider. Here's Sananda McCall.
We were at the parade, Tucks Parade. We went downtown. You know, the floats were coming. We had just kind of caught it.
It was this, a black doll hung with a string of beads around its neck, received by Lee's daughter Saturday.
I was like, there is no way, like, out of all things that somebody could have thrown off of a float.
The shock and condemning was shared by city officials such as Mayor Helena Moreno, who also took to her Instagram page saying, quote, "Let me be clear. The display is deeply offensive, unacceptable, and has no place in our city. New Orleans is built on respect, diversity, and inclusion." City Council leader J.P. Morrell also called it a, quote, "disturbing effigy meant to harm and intimidate families and children."
It was her innocence that was taken away because I had to expose her to, you know, a darker side of racism and tell her why she wasn't allowed to play with it.
Groups like the New Orleans Police and Justice Foundation shared a statement also saying there's a clear line between satire and inappropriate signaling, and many are calling for accountability. The Crew of Tucks said they wish the incident had been reported sooner so they could have addressed it immediately, adding that the behavior is unacceptable and contrary to their values. Tucks said, quote, "We intend to fully investigate this incident and the responsible riders will no longer be permitted to have any association with the parade."
He definitely needs to get held accountable for this.
Sananda McCall, WWL, Louisiana. And today, the mayor and city council invited that family to Gallier Hall. Take a look at these photos from the city's Instagram page of Shayna and her family. She texted me this afternoon saying that she did get a call from Mayor Moreno, personally letting her know that what she experienced during the Crew of Tucks parade is not what the city of New Orleans is all about. They wanted to right that wrong and give her family a better carnival experience this afternoon.
You got me now? Thank you, bro. He got me. He forgot me. He played the story and he forgot me. It's all right, bro. I thought we was boys. I did. I thought we were boys. He forgot me. So I'm glad that they took that moment to do that story. I'm glad that the city officials took time to let that little girl know that not all things operate that way. But I think when things like that happen, it's psychologically damaging. And stuff like that sticks with you forever. It don't go away. It burns a spot in your brain. And I'm wondering how the mother, father, and family members also cope with this issue. How do you cope with it? Especially with us. I mean, come on. Let's make sure that we say this and say this correctly. Us. How do we cope with it? How do we get to the point where we have to let it go? Or some things, you know, when they hurt your child or something that goes wrong and it's not your fault and your child is saying, look what they did to me, da-da-da-da. How do you let that go? Come on, let's have that conversation. 504-582-9422. Mr. Elmo.
Hey, Chief.
What's going on?
Oh, man. Look, it's very disturbing, man. I mean, I couldn't imagine if it happened to my child. I mean, I could say, but, you know, I mean, this is very disturbing because this is not the first time, I'm sure. I'm sure that more of those dolls are thrown out.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the organization can try to cover it up, and people can try to cover it up. But the bottom line is, Gerod, we have to look at the environment that we're living in right now. You know, and when you look at Trump
But how do you guard your child from that, Mr. Elmo? How do you guard your
child? I don't know. I mean, the only thing, well, I'm gonna give you my opinion. I've always educated my kids, our heritage, our people, history, a lot about the history. I never just taught my children Afro-American history in February. It's all year round. And I've always tried to make them understand racism and be prepared. I try to get them to understand that there are a lot of evil folk out there, and people will do things to you, especially if they feel threatened, and they could be threatened with your drive or how you look or your education and all. I had tried to do the best that I could with that. Matter of fact, my child was dealing with racism not for white folks. It was Vietnamese, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to get him. I had to get the parents in check. How dare you try to disrespect my child because my child was dating your daughter because she's Vietnamese, she's African American kid. But you have a lot of racism out there, man. You got to kind of put it in check. The best that you can. Hopefully, nothing happened really hurts my child. My child kind of matured for his age at the time, even though he's kind of hidden behind it. But you know what he said there? They kind of understand what you're saying. You always try to talk me, prepare for racism. But I didn't think people of color would be, you'd be surprised, son. Don't be naive to think other people of color won't pull racism cards on you. But that happens, right, man. It's just a terrible thing, bro.
I will say this, as much as many parades as I've been to, and I can say probably everybody here, everybody that's under the sound of my voice right now, as many parades as that we've been to, I'm putting all of us together here. We probably have had this conversation about somebody throwing beads to hurt you, something that could be thrown in that parade that's offensive. I've heard people talk about, bananas being thrown to black people and all this other stuff. I've heard these stories over and over and over and over again. But when a child is involved, see, to me, that's a whole nother story that I don't like to hear. I don't want to hear it, and it makes you want to retaliate. Not because you did it to me, is that you would take the innocence of a child. You a big old grown old man. To take the innocence of a child, I think it's worse than calling me the N-word.
Oh, better believe it. It's cruel.
Yep.
It's very cruel. And the thing, see, the thing about it is that I don't see no end in sight. I want you, when you get a chance, I don't know if you watch C-SPAN or not. They had a podcaster were interviewing Obama. Very, very interesting.
About the apes and the monkey?
Huh?
About the apes being called the
apes?
Yeah,
he talked about a lot of different things, but you being in the field of talking in journalism, I think you appreciate it,
I heard it already. I listened
you did?
Yep.
What's your thought?
I think that well, number one, you got to remember that Obama's an orator, so he's always going to be smooth in his comments. Second of all, he's more than likely thought about it in the first place. Him and Michelle probably had a conversation amongst themselves and saying, okay, are we going to address this or are we going to let it alone? But since it keeps flustering and it keeps, raising its ugly head, sometimes you have to put a person in their place by yet not even thinking that you're putting them in their place. I can kill you with kindness.
Right. Well, one thing he said, I'm gonna leave you because I don't want to hold your show up.
Remember what he called what's going on in Washington D.C. right now under this administration. He didn't call it, the president of the United States and da 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 da. He called it the clown show.
Right. I did catch that, but one thing was mentioned about respecting not so much the man but the presidency, and what he said basically that the president should have a sense of decency,
right,
on the position that he has. But this was brought up, Gerard, and I thought about it too, because you had people talking about it, and the guy said, I understand what Obama's saying, but they ain't had no decency towards him.
But
a lot of what.
Okay, so let's bring that back down here for a minute. Let me kind of put two and two together here, and you tell me what you think. I think the first thing that we got to say is doo-doo roll downhill. So it's coming from the top. We know it's coming from the top. So you think it's coming from the president of the United States, and it's just going to affect those folks that's there. I think we got a lot of folks that are feeling like if he could do it, yeah, that's how I feel too. So I'm going to be a copycat, and I'm going to do it. Don't matter where you live or where you are. So with that being said, that's my opinion. With that being said, I think that we should be preparing whenever we go to Mardi Gras next year. We should be preparing all of our adults as well as our children by giving them the speech from the city council chambers or from the mayor's chambers saying this is what we're having with, Mardi Gras. Here's what's happening with Bourbon Street. Here's our safety precautions we're going to have. And by the way, we want to make sure that everybody is safe with throws this year. You see something, say something. We got cops at every break, every block. If you see something, say something. If somebody throwing something to hit you, because Noonie sent me a photo of a little kid that got hit in the face with some beads, and the child is bleeding in the face. They said it threw him hard at him. I'm like, oh boy. So they're trying to hurt the kids. But I think that we need to be able to prepare.
No question about it.
We do need to prepare our adults as well as our children that some folks don't have the right ambition in throwing these things or tossing them to you. They throw them at you hard. Be prepared. But if you see something, say something.
Well, look, Gerard, let me leave you with this. Because years ago, I don't know if you remember how long you've been in New Orleans, but, I'm a native. But let me tell you something. They used to got beads, and they banned them. They were made out of glass. And I understand what you're saying. Some of those guys, they're very gentle how they give you the beads or throw. Some look like they're throwing them at you, like trying to hit you in your face. Look like they're intentionally trying to hit you with the doubloons and stuff like that. So that's why, when I was going to a parade, I had my glasses on me because I can't afford at my age to get hit in my eye with a doubloon or some bead that's not worth 5 cents.
I got you. All right, Mr. Elmore.
Well, I appreciate you because I caught you off guard because I didn't even know you was on today. And I listened to the radio. I thought it was a tape. I said, no, that's not no tape,
Well, they all called me and told me, Mr. Elmore said you better have your butt in the air chair today. So I said.
Now, you called me on that one, brother.
All right, Mr. Elmore, I'll talk to you later. Happy
all right, buddy.
You,
nice talking to you again. All right, brother. Bye.
All right. Hey, Miss Lisa.
Hey, Gerard. Happy day before Mardi Gras.
Happy Mardi Gras to you. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Good.
I had to get in on this conversation because it hit home. My daughter attended a very prominent private school here in New Orleans, and in the 5th grade, a Caucasian student of hers asked her if he could call her darky. So we should be having conversations with our kids, and unfortunately, we're having to have these conversations a little bit earlier than we would like to. I am so. What happened with that situation? The schoolmaster was at a training or conference in California. They heard about it because when I picked her up from school, she told me about it. I went back into the school, talked to the secretary, who told me that she would definitely pass it on because the headmaster was at a conference in California. That headmaster called me that night and apologized and said that when he got back in town, he would talk to the parents, because I couldn't fault that student. That's coming from home. Okay, so I wanted to talk to the parents, and I was trying to get the parents' address from the secretary, so I could have an intelligent conversation with them, because that boy had to get that from inside the home. What I still have, and my daughter, who was in the 5th grade at the time at this private school, she's now 29. I still have that letter. So the mother had the son to write an apology letter. I did get an opportunity to talk to the mother on the phone, and I'm trying to explain to her. For him to specifically ask that question, can I call you darky? That's stemming from something he's hearing in his household. And she was assuring me otherwise, but I wasn't buying that. And her thing was, not some of my best friends are black. Her thing was, we've been having a nanny for 30-something years. That doesn't matter. This boy isn't making this language up, bringing it into the school. He's getting that somewhere close by. Mm-hmm. But I'm so glad that this mother had a picture of that doll with the beads around the neck while it was dangling from the float, so that they couldn't lie and said, oh, she put those beads around the doll's head. And I'm so excited that Mayor Moreno took it a step further and did what she did to invite the child and the parents to Gallagher Hall to experience it with her. Mm. What should happen, if it hasn't happened already, the founder of Tux and the man who we all saw on the news that did it, he should write an apology letter, just like my daughter got an apology letter from the parents. He should write an apology letter from himself and the organization on the letterhead of Tux, and they should give the girl a nice bag of beads from their organization. The mayor needs to demand that all of the floats and everyone who participates in Mardi Gras, that they change their bylaws and they put in the bylaws that if any racism takes place, the persons responsible will be banned from participating in the parade indefinitely for future parades. But that has to be placed in the bylaws to be able to have something to stand up in court. That is so sad that in the 21st century that we're still dealing with this and our children are facing this.
So, yeah, okay. That might be something that we could deal with. But I really think that something should be done harsher. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I think it should be harsher is because of intent. So when you look at the court of law, there are two different things that people will say, whether you did it or you didn't do it, right? Mm-hmm. So even if you didn't do it, sometimes in the court of law, they still will prosecute you and call it intent. You intended to do it. Mm-hmm. So
I see where you're going. Yeah.
My thought is this: it was on your mind. And remember something else in the court of law. You don't have to have the right to do. You don't have to do it. You really, in the court of law, you don't have to do it. They got charges that they can file against you called conspiracy. It was a conspiracy to do it. You thought about doing it. Mm-hmm. So,
right. Oh, yeah.
If you thought about doing it, you can go to jail.
I agree with you, Gerard. I didn't even think on that level. I totally agree. He should be fined and go to jail. You know why? Because we all saw he had to have an intent because of how the doll was dangling with the beads around the neck from the float right in front of him. So the intent is right there. They have it on camera.
So I really don't think that a lot of folks, to some people, now this is what I got, because when I put this on my Facebook page, I don't know if you got a chance to Read it. They got so many people that then went to that Facebook page and wrote what they wrote about what they thought. And I thought that was good because it kicked up conversation.
Right.
And I should have turned off my notifications last night because when I did, I laid my phone I was sitting in my bed and I laid my phone right beside me. And all night long last night, all I heard was ding, ding,
It was
ding,
ding,
ding, ding. Ding, 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 ding. I was like, what in the world is going on? Did the world fall apart? What happened? And it was that many people from then to now that wanted to go on and say something about it. It was black, white. It was people that were like totally against it. It was a couple of young white ladies that went on to say that's not who he is. So evidently she knows who he is.
Right.
And she was like, that's not who he is. Da 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 da. I was like, okay.
Right.
I didn't say anything. I just said she put opinion up, and then I thought about it. And I was like, they're gonna eat you up later. Then they did. So that's what I was like. I just wanted to hear what people were thinking about this because I guess the blackness in me came out because I was like, oh no. I mean, and then when the
and I
young
don't
white
even
girl,
think that's the blackness. That is completely. That's gonna devastate that child for the rest of her life.
yeah.
That's gonna damage her psychologically.
Well, I'm sorry, it was the blackness in me. It was just the blackness in me. When you start talking about children.
But you're right. You're absolutely right. There needs to be more than just an apology. That individual needs to be held by law. And I'm in agreement because there's a conspiracy, and that's something that should be taken care of immediately.
So
this should not be
with all that I was saying to you, let me tell you where I am with this. This is just my personal opinion. I am not speaking for anybody else. I'm speaking for me. I'm glad that Helena Moreno, JP, and all the rest of the city council persons did what they did for that young lady to feel better and bring her up to Gallia Hall and all that. But I don't think it's their responsibility to make it right. Pull whoever the hell that was off of that thing, and you make it right for that little girl.
Right.
Not them.
Exactly.
Now they can oversee it being right.
Absolutely.
But I need you to bring whoever did that down to size.
Absolutely.
And let him do it.
I agree. And he needs to start with writing an apology letter. And he also needs to pay for what he did. He needs to be fined.
But it's not an apology letter just to this little girl. You owe the entire city of New Orleans. This made national news. I don't know if you know. This made national news this morning.
It sure did.
So you need to be the racist ass that's on national news,
right?
Apologizing for what you did. You wanted to humiliate somebody. Now let's see if you get your humiliation on.
Right.
That's where I am. So.
I'm in agreement with you 100%, Gerard.
Nyron looking at me like, Lord, this man, yeah.
I'm in agreement on that.
Yeah. All right, my honey. Happy Mardi Gras to you.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you later. Have a good day. Be safe.
You too.
Bye-bye. All right, Sid, hold on. We're coming right back. I got to take this break.
This is Monica Pierre along with Sally Ann Roberts Daybone, co-host of Your Power is On.
Tune in Sunday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. for music that feeds the spirit. Get your Sunday on.
Right here on WBOK 1230 a.m. and WBOK1230.com, the station you listen to all day long.
Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and Louisiana's Julia Letlow. What do they have in common? Liberal Julia Letlow voted with Joe Biden more than any other Louisiana Republican in the U.S. House. And just like Nancy Pelosi, Letlow has traded hundreds of stocks while serving in Congress. Worse, Letlow violated federal insider trading laws by failing to report her shady stock trades, potentially millions of dollars worth. But that's not all. Before she went to Congress, Liberal Julia Letlow was a university bureaucrat. She instituted radical DEI policies, woke sensitivity training, and the university put up a public art display honoring defund the police activists. Is that what Louisiana wants in the U.S. Senate? Conservatives just can't trust liberal Julia Letlow. Louisiana Freedom Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. LouisianaFreedomFund.org.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton. Comparing the cost of wills, successions, and trusts.
A will might only be a few $100s, but your family could end up paying more in legal fees.
Trust costs more upfront, but saves time, stress, and potentially thousands.
Think of it as paying a little now to avoid a big bill later. Smart planning means big savings for your family. This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
From Gentilly to New Orleans East, WBOK is what New Orleans is talking about. WBOK.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
With the crew of Bacchus closing out the night, but today did not come without controversy. One tote float was emptied after police say riders threw beads aggressively at federal officers. Remember, something similar happened last week too. WDSU reporter Jasmine Franklin is live breaking down exactly what happened today. Jasmine.
Yeah, Elizabeth, tonight parade goers say this is definitely not in the spirit of Mardi Gras, especially during a time filled with so much joy and celebrations. People along the parade route say those that are there to protect it should not be targeted.
You know, they're here to keep us safe, not to be pelted by beads.
Leslie Spillman says she attends parades along the Uptown route every year, but she was disheartened to learn about an incident during the Crew of Thoth parade where police say riders aggressively threw beads at federal agents.
It's such a shame. You really hate to hear that. I mean, those of us who love Mardi Gras, I mean, visitors and locals alike, we know that's not really in the spirit.
The NOPD confirmed the incident happened during the parade Sunday afternoon. According to police, all riders on Float 32 were removed.
And the last thing you need to do is, besides watching out for everybody's protection, is having to worry about some big stupid bag of beads crashing you in the face for no reason.
It comes exactly 1 week after riders in the Crew of Carrollton were accused of aggressively throwing beads at police officers during the parade. The NOPD says that incident is also under review.
Everybody's had that experience of maybe not quite, calculating the catch right, but you know the difference when someone's aggressively trying to hit you.
And tonight I have reached out to the crew for a statement. However, I have not heard back just yet. Meanwhile, the NOPD says while those riders were removed from Float 32, no arrests have been made. Reporting live tonight in New Orleans, I'm Jasmine Franklin, WDSU News.
All right, there you have it. Thank you, Jasmine, over at WDSU for letting us use your audio and video there. But I guess my question should be, shouldn't they have to go through maybe the same thing that like Zulu had to go through? Because Zulu, they can't throw coconuts. They can't throw coconuts because they said they were hitting people with them. Now y'all hitting people with trinkets and beads and knocking them out. See, one of the things that I would do, now this is just my suggestion. My suggestion, because I would put some very, very strict rules in. Number one, you throw some beads and they can be seen as you throwing them as hard as you can or trying to hit somebody like that. First thing that I would do is put a fine on you that it would be a fine on you personally and it would be a fine on the crew. Because everybody's talking about how much money they spend on these crews. You know, you paying $600, $700, $1,200 to do this, to ride. Okay. How about I hit you with a $5,000 or $10,000 fine on top of that? Think about that one. Shedrick.
Hey, man, I believe it's time for us to just be real. We know the political climate. We see where the hatred, racism, and all this type of stuff is. We see and know exactly what's happening in every day life.
So why would Mardi Gras be different? They've been doing this stuff. It's just more open now, like everything else. So it shouldn't be a shock. What they're doing and the baby doll and the kid catching it, it's horrible. But parents, look at the day and times in which we are living in. And that's all I have to say in reference to that. But I'm gonna tell you what's just as appalling to me is watching these young black teenagers, females and males, fight, and watching them fight yesterday to see it in person, and watching them fight in front of the police, watching them not listen to the police. The police, NOPD, the sheriff's deputies, criminal sheriff deputies, which were mostly women, and in Franklinton Police, where I was standing, until the police, NOPD, had to call in the horses, and then they still wasn't listening. That's what's appalling. Parents, please find out what your children are doing, because they're not innocent like you think they are. And every last one of them that these police had to arrest deserve to go to jail.
I got about 7 or 8 telephone calls from parents, from people that I know that are parents or know somebody. Gee, what's up, man? How you doing? I said, I'm doing fine. What's going on? Who is this, first of all? Man, it's so-and-so and so-and-so. Somebody gave me your number. I said, oh, okay, cool. Look, we don't know nobody, but you know so-and-so and so-and-so? No. Well, anyway, her son went to jail last night. I said, for what? Fighting. I was like, oh. I said, that's crazy. What are they fighting for? We don't know. We don't know. I said, well, I can tell you this. He ain't getting out until Wednesday or Thursday. Because ain't nobody down in the magistrate's office today. Ain't nobody going to be there tomorrow. And I'm sorry, it's either going to be either Wednesday or Thursday before anybody go in the office, and you not getting out.
Gerard, they wouldn't listen to us older men. So at that point, when the police got involved and did what they did, and the police had to use the horses. So I don't want to hear nobody complaining about the police. I was there. They had to do exactly what they had to do to restore order. They wouldn't listen to us. So at that point, you know what? Go your little aerosols to jail.
And think about it. I mean, I'm like this. You think about doing the crime, you got to do the time. If you're gonna do, I saw somebody on social media. Little boy walked up to this other little boy. I don't know what he said to him, but he cold cocked him right in the middle of the face, and the police was standing right there. And the lady pulled her taser out, said, "Get on the ground." He got right on the ground. They put him in handcuffs. I said, "He going to jail." The police officer watched him do it. He going to jail for assault.
Man, look, lastly, Gerard, to the men and women of the New Orleans Police Department, once again, Franklinton Police Department was there, but I must say, to the criminal sheriff officers, to all of our law enforcement officers, thank you for your service. To the females, to the women on that were the officers. Man, they had no regard for those women, none. So I can only imagine what they're doing to their mothers.
Wow,
it was horrible. Hey man, you have a good one.
All right, Seb. Talk to you in a minute. Well, I'm gonna say this too, because I don't want everybody just to say, "Oh, listen to Seb talk about the guys." I want to say this because I mean what I said, and I said what I mean. I said what I said. Some of them girls is worse than the boys. What should I say? Some of them studs is worse than the boys. I think it's more of them that's worse than the boys. Because y'all know y'all can fight. Y'all beating up the boys. Got your wife beater on, talking about some smelling just like the dope factory. Hey, who is that, a new cologne? What is that? Tweed weed. Yes, it is. Tweed weed. More coming up, y'all. 504-582-9422. That's the number to get in contact with me. More coming up in a minute. We got news next.
campus of Xavier University.
Yeah.
WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. New York City is calling for lifeguard applicants as it battles ongoing shortages since the pandemic. Mayor Zohran Mamdani in a pre-recorded video.
While you might think about lifeguarding as a summer job, we actually start hiring for them in the winter. It's a great way to make a difference in New York City, and we need lifeguards.
Candidates must be at least 16 by July 18th, pass a vision test, and swim 50 yards in 50 seconds. A lawyer for Smokey Robinson is asking a court to sanction one of the women accusing the Motown legend of sexual misconduct, saying she's dodging a deposition. Robinson and his wife deny the allegations, and the attorney wants the plaintiff barred from testifying at any future trial. And WNBA player Rickea Jackson says she's willing to testify against her ex-boyfriend, Falcons player James Pierce Jr. Her attorneys filed notice after Jackson told police he rammed her car multiple times. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. London Growl 2026. Well, I know a lot of folks going to be out there in the streets on tomorrow. Please be on the lookout for those that you're not usually looking out for, because one of the things I saw on the news today is there's a lot of pickpocketing going on. A lot of pickpocketing going on. So we don't want you to lose your phones. We don't want you to lose your money. They actually made a movie about that a while ago. It's been many years, about the number of folks that they come in and cruise, and that's what they do. They just pickpocket you and meet up later on and divide up how much money they make. It's really interesting how they do that. So just be on the lookout. Hold your stuff. Travel in groups. And don't be out here drunk in the street. And also, young ladies, be on the lookout for traffickers. I think that we're living in an age that the traffickers aren't necessarily the low scum of the earth guys that's walking around here that you don't see in the darkness. Some of those folks that are trafficking can be sitting up there and being your politicians as well. Think about that one. T-Bone.
Happy Mardi Gras to y'all, WBOK.
Same to you, sir.
Hello?
Yep.
All
What you
right.
got?
All right. Well, I know you probably moved off of this, but I want to comment. For people that's in the sound of my voice, if you're a father, an uncle, an auntie, a grandparent, once again, it's something that you're facing that you have to educate your children on. Because we're living in a day and time where you have a president that is trying to throw out Black history, trying to ruin education for the masses, and send us back almost 100 or more years. These types of things happened in our history before with that parade. They had little black dolls with nooses around them. They would have public hangings of men, women, and children in the public square. Not necessarily a trial, just a hanging. And they will go to it like it's a sporting event, like the All-Star Game. This is our history, people. This is not something that's made up. If you in your teens and 30s or 40s and you don't know about this, look up Eyes on the Prize, please. Look up the abridged version of what happened in Roots. Anything that you could dig up on Black history right now will tell you that we went through this. And it's rich in the New Orleans area. And you should know about this. Why? So that they don't turn back the clock and do it again. And this goes to the argument why I said, why should we vote for somebody like this so that it'll make us mad enough to change things? If you already know where we came from, why are we trying to go back? Why? What race you know of wants to go back in time to the rough times that they had? You hear white folks saying they won't go back to being barbarians? Do you hear the Spaniards saying they want to go back to the days of being Aztecs and Mayans? The only black race that really would like to go back is some of us in the black race would like to be able to go back to Africa and live, but not amongst the bush. We want to be free from this type of racism, from this type of heinousness of being labeled as monkeys and dark creatures from the dark continent. You should want better for yourself, for the generation coming up behind you. And I don't know what mindset you're in right now, but that's the mindset you should be in. I mean, what else have I left out, G? I'm trying to say this as calm as I can.
I'm trying to put what you're saying in some type of perspective where you went, because you went for a history lesson.
Well, I'm talking about some people throwing out black Barbie dolls with a noose on them. You know, that shouldn't be happening in 2026. It was horrible when it was happening in the 19th century, in the 18th century, in the 17th century. And people voted for this kind of buffoonery because when you voted for Trump or you didn't vote against him, you emboldened those people who had these discussions at their kitchen table, at their family barbecues, at their churches about us as a race. You brought that back. You might have thought it was going to empower us to create another Black Wall Street and a Rosewood town, but you also brought the ugliness of it.
Okay. All right, let me get back to it then. All right, T-Bone.
All right, y'all. Happy Mardi Gras again.
In the famous words of Dave Chappelle. What? 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 All right. I got that out. So, T-Bone must have caught the end of our conversation. So let me say it again for T-Bone. This probably was intercepted. Yeah, this was intercepted by that young lady's mother. And I think, and she did a very good job of intercepting it and sitting her daughter down. That's what a real mama do. A real mama's gonna make sure that my child, a real daddy too, so don't make me sound like I'm being chauvinist toward anything. But a real mama and a real daddy gonna sit down and have a conversation with their child and say, hey, everything don't run right. Everything ain't right. Everything ain't right. You just happen to be on the receiving end of this one. But we won't let you know that you are somebody. We want to let you know that this is not right. We wouldn't want you to treat anybody like that, and no one should treat you that way. That's why you got all the different officials from the city of New Orleans that are now in your ear, inviting you to come up and being nice to you and making sure that you know that this is not right. But we want you to be okay with the outcome. And the outcome is knowing that you're better than this, right? My thought process goes a little bit deeper and maybe stings a little bit more. Maybe I'm walking around with a bumblebee. But I'd rather for it to be something that stings the perpetrator than stings that little girl. That little girl ain't never going to forget this. But I know that her mama and her family going to do their daggone best to make sure that it does go away. And it's going to pop up when they least expect it. That little girl going to say something about mama. You remember when they threw that little black doll with the chain around her neck at me at Mardi Gras? When we least expect it, that's when it's going to come. Because that's innocence. You're talking about a little girl that's innocence. Kids aren't prejudiced. Kids aren't racist. That's learned behavior. You put a little black girl and a little white girl together in a play area. Guess what they gonna do? They gonna play. Somebody gonna start acting indifferent when they hear it from their parents. Or somebody gonna intercept their innocence and say, she's not like you. You shouldn't play with her. Find somebody of your own kind. That's when we see one race going toward their race, another race going toward theirs. They don't play no more. It's learned behavior. So, in a nutshell, what I was saying, T-Bone, was, yes, you do need to have those conversations with your child. But I think that there should be something done. And y'all gonna go, ooh, when I say this. Shame on Ann Kirkpatrick. You don't let nobody get off on that. Evidently, Liz Merrill's not. Why are you? You don't let them folks just get away from doing what they do. Evidently, Liz Merrill's not. Why should you? And where is all the talking heads? Because I don't see none of them. Not a one. I haven't seen y'all get on this. Y'all go run into the camera when it's somebody else. None of you all went running for the camera this time to say, this is a tragedy. This should have never happened. It's almost like you just disappeared. The talking heads, the bobbleheads, aren't saying one daggone word. Not one. No, don't let them go. I think that they should be hit because this made national news. There should be, from the person that did it, not just an apology from the crew. This should be a national apology from the person that did it. I meant it, and I mean it. If you want to humiliate somebody to make them feel less than, then you should be the one that's got to stand in front of the whole world and say, yes, I did it. I apologize to this young lady, and I'm going to make sure I write her a letter, but let me apologize to the world too, because this made world news. We bigger and better than that. That's what we keep telling people. All right, we got Mr. Felco.
Hey, Gerard, how are you today? Happy Mardi Gras.
Good. Happy Mardi Gras to you. How you doing?
Good. I hope I could take just a couple minutes of your time and weigh in on a personal level about what's occurred here.
Okay.
First of all, I think I certainly concur with you and everyone else. And when I say everyone else, it is heartwarming to see the response coming from the community. I mean, this is a travesty. I mean, this is egregious. It's hateful. It's wrong. I mean, you name the word, it describes it. And I would take it a step further, even to where you're going. Obviously, apology is good, and whoever perpetrated this needs to be fully identified first of all, and they need to be prosecuted.
Yep.
I mean, this is, in my mind, again, without looking at all of the legalities of this is intimidation and hate crime.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's sickening to me. And maybe it hits home a little bit because, as you may know, just a few weeks ago, a synagogue was burned to the ground in Mississippi.
Yep.
I mean, it was basically a Klan effort from years ago that is occurring at today's time. And what occurred, at the parade is not dissimilar from that. I mean, it's such a sick act by the perpetrators that it's almost beyond words in the times that we are now. And again, I'll say this: I do blame the president for a lot of this. Okay, he has created such disunity in this country and divided people, by race, by religion, whatever category. And this is the byproduct of that. And so my 2 points are going to be: number one, I want to see the perpetrators in jail. I want to see them prosecuted successfully for what is a vicious act that should never occur. And second, I'd like to see if we could use this as an educational moment for our community. Again, I think it's pretty heartwarming, whether people like the new administration, don't like the new administration. I thought the response was rapid and it was good and it was respectful from our mayor and our council. I'll even give, Liz Merle some credit here for what she came out with immediately and others. And I think that there's an education moment that we can use for this, to show that not only is this not New Orleans, but here's an example of why our country needs to do better right now. And New Orleans could set the tone for that. So, again, I appreciate that this is top of the news. It should be. But it has a bigger story to it, which is we got to start, putting our arms together, no matter if we're white or black or, whatever we are that may differentiate. We got to put our arms around each other and stand behind each other and unify. And when you see hate against one, it's hate against all. Mm-hmm. And I hope that our community will continue to do that. Appreciate the media and yourself, bringing it to the forefront. And, let's hope that, not only will justice be served, with these perpetrators, but let's hope that we could use this as a moment that maybe brings our community together as well.
Now,
so
Arnie,
I just wanted to convey that to you.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Do you think that this is going to go any further? I know this is a big conversation right now, but it seems that, we have big conversation. Then there seems to be a lull in making any type of effort in issues like this, and then it just goes away. It drops off. And
you're right. I mean, look, the news cycle.
And then
the news cycle is very short, unfortunately.
Going to prosecute anybody, or she's not going to do anything about it. I think that's a slap in our face.
Wait, hold on, Jordan. Yes, you have permission.
Yeah, I really do. I think that this is a slap in our face to hear her say that, no, we're not going to go after anybody. We're not going to do anything about it. Because to me, I have to agree with you. This is a hate crime.
Yeah. I don't think it. I don't think the right position is to throw it under the rug and say let's move on and go and get an apology. I mean, again, apologies are nice and obviously that should be part of any resolution, but we can't continue to be a country where you have people that are so hateful that would do what they did yesterday to a young girl from Houston. Okay. Who again, I don't know how much she knows at her young age at this point, but she should never have to endure this. And again, I'm making the comparison. Nor should people in Jackson, Mississippi, be afraid to go and pray to the God of their choice because certain people don't want them there, don't like them there. Okay, and they burned down a building. I mean, what in the world are we coming to as a people? And, I hope, I don't know where the jurisdiction might be, if Jason Williams has, jurisdiction on some of this in terms of certainly local crimes. But this should not be swept under the rug. And yes, tomorrow's Mardi Gras and everybody's going to have a great time and we'll forget about things for a day. But I got to tell you, this is one that we should not forget and that we should remember this a long time and that we should use this in a way that's effective, to try to bring people together here and to curb this kind of hatred that's just, it's so ugly, Gerard, and so vicious.
Yep.
It's not who we are.
Well, I'm going to make it a point that we find out who did this. I need to know them by name. And we're going to put it out there as soon as we find out and tell them that, there needs to be a whole lot more that's being done except saying that the crew is apologizing, because the crew may have had these dolls and may have been doing the same thing, but somebody got caught. Whoever this person was that got caught needs to be outed. So
Totally agree with you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
All right, you take care. Have a happy Mardi Gras, you and everyone else.
All right, talk to you later. We got to take a break. We got to take the break now? Yeah. We'll take the break. Then we're going to talk to the birthday boy. The birthday boy celebrating his birthday today. Mr. Harrow, we coming back in just a minute. Let me take this break here because I know you celebrating your birthday today. More coming up, y'all, right here on WBOK.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityInvestments.com. Now that we're in the second year of President Donald Trump's second term, our team of analysts at Bloomberg Intelligence is taking stock of how some of the administration's pushback against DEI is changing the business landscape. Bloomberg Intelligence senior ESG analyst Rob Dubois says since the Trump administration took office last year, we have seen a drop in boardroom diversity. But he explained some of it might not be because there are actually less people of color, but because companies stopped talking about it.
If these companies aren't disclosing the diversity of their directors, and some of them have said they're really not, there's actually really no way to tell, unfortunately. I mean, gender's a little easier because you can still use he, she pronouns. But in terms of racial diversity, it's really difficult if the company's not telling you.
But it's not all on the White House. Many companies curbed DEI programs to avoid pressure from conservative activists. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Time is valuable. That's why Lowe's Blueprint Takeoffs turn blueprints into quotes faster. Bring us your plans, and we'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting easier so you can get back to building. Plus, at the Lowe's Pro Desk, you get access to thousands of building materials not sold in store. And when your order's ready, we'll deliver everything to the job site. Improving is easy at Lowe's.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
It's off the top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
Well, Jesus, take the wheel. I am totally outdone mentally and spiritually to learn that the Black Conservative Federation is twisting itself into knots, scrambling to defend President Trump after he posted a video depicting former President Barack Obama and his wife Michelle Obama as apes in a video supposedly about voter fraud. The video was posted on Trump's social media platform, and it immediately drew a storm of anti-racist backlash. Tim Scott, a Trump ally and the only black Republican in the U.S. Senate, called it the most racist thing he has seen from this White House. However, he did not say it's the only racist thing he's seen from Trump's White House. Subsequently, the video was taken down, which resulted in, ironically, C.J. Pearson, a prominent black conservative, to issue a statement saying, quote, "This particular clip was obviously posted in error, and I'm glad to see that it has been deleted," end quote. That part was good. But then he continued, quote, "There is not a racist bone in President Trump's body." Really? End quote. That part wasn't good. He even said it didn't diminish his view of the president. Adding more fuel to his dumpster fire, he argued that Trump has done more for the black community than any other president in the history of America. Are you serious? That's a dubious subject of
significant debate. What is not up for debate is Trump having a white supremacist mindset. As far back as 1973, the Justice Department sued Trump and his father and their company for systematically discriminating against black people and other minorities. His presidency and his administration has been marked by a litany of disparaging characterizations of people of color. He has unleashed an unprofessional and undisciplined squad of violent immigration goons to discriminately arrest Hispanics in the country illegally or otherwise without due process. Trump has put immigration bans in place, mostly prohibiting immigrants from countries inhabited by people of color. Can you say Somalia? While enthusiastically welcoming whites from Europe and South Africa. Against this record of apparent racism, I find it very difficult to believe that the hateful, disgusting, vile, historical racist trope of the Obamas was mistakenly placed there by a lowly White House staff member. Trump refuses to apologize, insisting the mistake wasn't his. That is no surprise coming from an individual who has a history of being cruel, vindictive, unaccountable, untruthful, and untrustworthy. So why expect a man filled with racism, hate, and other cruel, vindictive things that he said over the past to apologize for what he clearly believes is okay? This is Norman Robinson off the top.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
The Historic New Orleans Collection presents a new exhibition open through June 7th, 2026, The Trail They Blazed. Built collaboratively with people who participated in the local civil rights movement, The Trail They Blazed presents stories of social and racial justice straight from the people who lived them. Listen to leaders tell their stories of resistance and persistence in their own voices, recorded by the Historic New Orleans Collection. Plan your visit to 520 Royal Street in the French Quarter and reserve your free tickets at hnoc.org today.
Transform your bathroom with the beautiful quality of Bath Planet. As a trusted leader in bathroom renovation, Bath Planet has earned the Good Housekeeping seal, a symbol of quality and consumer confidence for over 100 years. Get half off installation or 18 months with no interest and no payments. Whether it's tub replacement, a shower replacement, or a tub-to-shower conversion, Bath Planet makes your custom bath fast, easy, and affordable. Here's how it works. 1. Call to schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. 2. Our design experts come to you with real samples to customize your dream bath. 3. Our certified installers complete the transformation in as little as 1 day. And right now, for a limited time, you can upgrade your bathroom for 50% off installation or choose 18 months with no interest and no payments. But you need to call now. This special offer is only available by calling 800-981-8177. That's 800-981-8177. Call 800-981-8177 right now before the offer ends.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Mr. Harold, hold on just a minute, because I know I got to talk to you for a little bit. Terry been holding on too. Terry.
Hey, Gerard, how you doing?
Good, man. What's happening with you?
Look, I was going to make a couple of points. Let's talk to Mr. Harold. Look, you know what irks me also behind that racial incident yesterday, Gerard? You know, are we what we think we living in Shangri-La? You know, where some white people don't like us. I mean, some of them don't like us. I mean, what world are we living in? But and then on top, you know what really irks me besides that, Gerard, when a lot of the black people are at the parades, and I'm talking about the children, Gerard, because I really could care less about that stuff. When they deliberately not throw the bees to the young black children, I'm telling you, I've been out there, I've seen them do it. They deliberately not throw those bees to the black children. They'll throw it over their heads. They'll throw it around them. You know, I ain't saying all of them do it, but there are some that does it. Now, what you got to say about that?
I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. But let me tell you, we're the, I guess we're the keepers of our kids, and we have to make sure that they are there for what it is. It's for a good time. That's all. And if somebody has ill intent toward my child, your child, or anybody else's child, my radar is on. It's always going to make me look to see how children are being treated. And this is no different in this case. I think that your child is my child if I see that he or she is being treated wrong. And if we all would take that same consideration, I think that we would have a lot more in common than we would have apart. Now, what I see in this whole scenario of things is, how about if this was different? How about if it changed? How about if this was a black man that did that and a white child that was the recipient of something that was discriminatory? Would you think that story would be a little bit different by now? Somebody would have got snatched off of that float if that was us.
Right.
And I mean that. I know everybody goes, oh, I can't believe you would say that. Absolutely, I would think that one of us would have got snatched off of the float. Now, I'm not so against what NOPD did. I actually applauded what NOPD did to those guys because they were doing something they weren't supposed to. And it's like, if you were ever in the military, I'm surprised that Galloway ain't called me yet, but if you were in the military, you understood that when you in the military and your platoon, if one y'all did wrong, everybody got to go.
That's right.
Everybody got to run. Everybody got to answer for that. It ain't just one person, because you speak for your platoon. And your platoon, all them guys looking at you like, boy, we going to put some bars of soap in that sock, and we going to get you at 2 o'clock in the morning because you messing up the whole platoon. We all for one and one for all. You get on that float and you act a fool, I think it should be one for all and all for one. And I applaud NOPD for pulling all of them off and saying, get off.
That's right. Yeah.
So
but Gerard, last but not least, I'm gonna let you go. And you see, this reminds me of Miss Dorothy May Taylor, you know, honorary black woman, city council, when she got rid of the ordinance where they wouldn't have black crews on the floats, and she told them, she said, if blacks won't participate on the floats, y'all won't parade. And see, when she did that, it was controversial. They hated her for it. But see, this is kind of stand that some kind of way we got to start doing some of this when it involves the parade, because we can't have our children disrespected like that. I just don't really like that. That's all I got to say.
All right, Terry. Appreciate you, bro. Happy Mardi Gras to you.
Have a good one.
All right, talk to you later. All right, Lord have mercy. It is the birthday boy. The birthday boy is with us.
You know, I say I need to call this black radio station because I'm kind of black.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I'm getting close to becoming a senior citizen.
No, you're not.
I'm 89 years old today.
Well, happy birthday.
And, life has been good. I just left River Oaks, one of the top Jewish restaurants in Houston, and now I'm in Galveston.
Oh, okay. You by the water.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to say that everybody has a story, and I have 500 stories. Okay, so I was able in the flesh to see President Truman, Reagan, Obama, and Bush, the father Bush.
Okay.
So anyway, life has been good, but what about, you know, in the Jewish community, it's we, W-E, we. In the black community, it's me. I got it, and you get it if you can, okay? And we have we don't have the respect for each other that we should have. And we don't work together. Now, let me give you one of my stories. I have one granddaughter, and I have two daughters, and one of them has my grandchild. And the ones that live in Georgia, they live in a neighborhood that I might say kind of upscale. And my granddaughter, who is 11 years old, she was 10 when at the school that she attended. This little so-called white boy, now remember they're 10 years old. They chose names for Christmas, and she got his name. And he told her what he wanted. And if she didn't get it, he was going to kill her. So when my granddaughter told my daughter, you have to take these kids at their word. When I told my daughter went to work on it. So they called the principal, and they had the mother come into the school and whatnot. And the boy was apologizing. And they got it straightened out, and my granddaughter had a party. Remember, they're 10 and 11 years old. And the so-called white woman brought the little boy to my granddaughter's party. So they were able to get together. But the thing of it is, what black people don't understand, and I've been in the world a while, that they don't understand so-called white people and racism. I was taught about racism when I was young. And I've told you before that my mother was the architect of my life, and it's been good. I understand so-called white people. I do business with them. I live among them, and things are okay because I know who they are and I know who I am. And I think that's one of the first things you should teach the young about racism. It's nothing new. You're going to have it. And the people just have contaminated blood running through their veins. So anyway, I talked during the pandemic. I talked to in Los Angeles where we live. I talked to a Chinese, and he told me which I don't go with that, all so-called white people are racist. Okay, they used the Chinese to build the railroads across the country. Now in Sugar Land, not too long ago, which is in Houston, they were getting ready to do some building, and when they got down so far, they discovered black bones, the slaves that had worked in the fields there. They talked about it on the radio here the other day. But you have a fool in the White House, a pure fool. And I'm an ex-military, 101st Airborne, trained as a medic, and we had a pill, and I've told other people that when they would drop us off in the wilderness or whatever, if we didn't have water to drink, we could put this pill in our urine and drink our urine. So, and we could live in the boondocks for maybe 30 or 40 days without any food and using the foliage and the green stuff and what to taste and what not to taste. But the racism, and I wonder, I'll go from one thing to another, and you can cut me off whenever you decide to. The Hispanics, I know well how they are, and the Hispanics, you have this saying, and I don't know who coined it, black and brown. There is no such thing as black and brown. I can give you some examples, and the Hispanics can be more racist than the so-called white people. And I talked to some here in Houston that their family has been disrupted, and I believe that we are our brother's keeper. I don't believe in, people. Well, let me say this. What you do to people or what you do for people, it will come back to you.
Mm-hmm.
And each one of us has a judgment to meet. Read your great-grandmother's Bible, and you will understand what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But the Hispanics in Los Angeles, they are multi-million-dollar construction projects that no blacks were working on. They had it going on, and they discriminated against blacks. But now they don't understand. They lean toward the so-called whites. They didn't understand what is going on, and they discriminate against blacks. I mean, they lean toward so-called whites.
Okay.
And hello.
Yeah, I said okay. I got to get back to the regular conversation here, but not that one. Not that one. I understand what you're saying.
You're talking about racism. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. I understand what you're saying, but I just want to make sure that we are still on the same conversation here.
We're on the same conversation, okay? I have a PhD, if you're saying racism.
You got
okay?
a PhD?
Yeah. So anyway, the only reason Kamala Harris didn't win, her problem was she was black. Okay. 47% of the fool in the White House, the people that voted were Hispanic. And now they are showing them what they think and how they feel about them. Okay. Black people need to learn something about so-called white people. They understand you, but you don't understand them. Have a good day, and I appreciate you.
All right. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
All right. We'll talk to you later. All right. Jason.
What's happening, G?
What's going on?
Man, I'm good, man. Just made my way out from the park, man, and I'm loving what you're talking about. Brother, this conversation is a conversation we have in a barbershop all the time about racism. And listening to Pops, I really listen to him, and he's right. And the Jewish community is we. And our community is me. And one thing I try to do is, in our community, we have to raise our kids to see it for what it is. You know, from your daughter to my daughter, I think the hardest thing, because kids is going to love us, the hardest thing is getting them to see it for what it is, G. And I don't know if you know this lately, and I'm seeing it on social media. Gee, they start flipping this word racism around. Now we are considered racist. It's mind-blowing to me. The word been flipped. You notice how that happened within the last 10 years?
The racism?
No, well, I'm saying how white folks have flipped it the way they calling us racist now.
Well, I mean, that's political, and I'm gonna say it that's way because I'm gonna give you a full instance. First of all, I don't think nobody believes it that we're racist, and they flip words around all the time, so it means something different. The same thing can be said about the word woke. You know,
correct.
Woke in their mind is something bad. Woke in our mind is something good, and you are wide awake. You know, it's almost like Cat Williams said, "Look it up, look it up." And he basically said, "I'm awake. I'm just awake." But they done made woke sound like it's a bad word.
And they done flipped it because I noticed with the controversy going on with this float issue. And I'm just looking at social media. And I'm saying to myself, how is it white folks can tell us what is and what isn't racist?
Mm-hmm.
And we have to sit back. Well, we supposed to sit back and take it for what it is. And I'm steady telling people, y'all so privileged. Y'all could tell us, no, that ain't racist, and leave it alone.
Right.
It's mind-blowing to me. But I think the main thing, and just listening to Pops, I love to hear him speak. I live on the North Shore. I'm raising my children. They go to school, black and white, majority white. But one thing I feel like I will fail my children if I don't teach them what it really is. Do not get conflicted with this kumbaya stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I really do think after the civil rights era, like Pop said, the black community is weak. I'm riding through New Orleans East right now, leaving from the park. And it's mind-blowing that we have a city that's majority black, and looking at the East and what's going on and what's not taking place, I have to be honest, G, it's some of us is divided too. Some of us that got drafted into certain picks. And I mean, you know it from the city and how things are moving, the political side of New Orleans. And a lot of people don't see it, but everything that goes bad in the city get blamed on some black politician. Or let's just be honest, the mayor going out, she about to get a lot of blame.
She about to get a lot of what?
A lot of blame for things that didn't happen in the city the previous years.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you this new mayor is not going to see the investigations every week, the news reporters following her every step. She's not going to experience that.
No, you didn't know she was going to the D.C. Mardi Gras until we said something about it.
I seen her at the Zulu Ball Friday night. I was like, oh, wow.
She was there.
She was there and sounding good and smiling and laughing, just like Miss Landrew used to be there. And people don't do their homework on the detriment of Miss Landrew and how he ripped up a lot of stuff. But you know what? None of the news stations covered that.
Mm-mm. Did you see anybody on the news station at the Zulu Ball?
I seen the mayor and her crew.
That's it?
That's it. That's all.
But did you see him at
You
Rex?
know, but no.
Oh, yeah, they were there. I mean, I'm talking about the news crews. They were at Bacchus.
Yeah, they was there.
They broadcast from Endymion.
Right there at Endymion, they broadcast.
Yeah, but they broadcast on WeTV, not on one of the regular channels, on WeTV for the Coronation Ball for Zulu. Just the Coronation Ball. Not the entertainment, not all the folks. But why on WeTV? Why not one of the regular channels? Why not NBC, ABC, or CBS? We did Endymion.
Like they do for Endymion and Bacchus.
There you go. There you go.
But, gee, a lot of, you know what, when we talk about this in a barbershop, I'm man enough to see it for what it is. And I actually do think a lot of this starting our home because it starts with the children, brother. Mm-hmm. That's why I love your show. It starts with the children.
But we got to
protect them. The internet can't raise our kids.
But we got to protect them when there is harm. We got to protect them.
Thanks.
So that's it. All right, Jason, I got to take my break, brother. I appreciate you, man. We got more coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
AURN News.
I'm Ebony McMorris.
We're going to enforce the immigration law, and we're going to have a mass deportation. President Trump promised that, and we're committed to that.
That was President Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, during a press conference. He announced the drawdown of federal officers in Minneapolis. He confirmed more than 4,000 arrests and said over 200 people have already been arrested for allegedly interfering with federal officers. But Homan says ICE prioritizing public safety threats, meaning rapists, murderers, and child molesters, yet when pressed, he could not provide a breakdown of how many of the 4,000 arrested were actually convicted violent offenders. He also claimed ICE located more than 3,300 missing unaccompanied migrant children in the state. What he does not give in detail is how many of those children were reunited versus placed into removal proceedings, or how many are in that number because the administration cannot find their correct address. For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
Indulge in an intimate evening of beloved standards and contemporary tunes with the Jazz and Heritage Concert Series on Saturday, February 28th at 8 p.m. featuring the new jazz standard with Stephanie Jordan. Don't miss her timeless and distinct voice live at the George and Joyce Ween Jazz and Heritage Center in New Orleans. This event is in person only. Don't miss out. Tickets are just $10 and available at jazzandheritage.org.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton. Losing a loved one is tough enough. Do you really want your family dealing with court battles and paperwork on top of it?
Whether you choose a will or a trust, think ahead. Take care of your family. Let them focus on healing instead of headaches. This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
Get in on the conversation at 504-582-9422. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks. A few minutes here before we get out. So before I go, I want to say it again. Happy birthday to my buddy, my long-time listener, Mr. Harold, celebrating his 25th birthday today. His 25th birthday. What do you say, 89? 89. I hope I just get to 60, which is next month. Good Lord. 60. That's enough. I think we're going to have us a party. I'm serious. I think we'll have to throw a party next month. Let's see, I'm going to talk to Barry. See, can we do a big party over there at the vault? See, can we do it that weekend of the 28th? Give everybody time to get there. We need to have us a big party. But anyway, happy birthday, Mr. Harold. Many more to come. As we get ready to get into the Mardi Gras Fat Tuesday on tomorrow, don't forget, everywhere else across the country is just Tuesday. Here is one of the biggest celebrations the world has seen. Now, with that celebration comes a lot of folks that may be doing some misdeeds. So you need to pay attention. Pay attention to your kids. Pay attention to your surroundings. What is disturbing, which honestly, again, I have to say we didn't hear from the talking heads at all. Not at all. Y'all better think about this for a minute. Because I'm telling you the truth. You have not seen them on television. You have not seen the Goyeneches. You didn't hear from the Skip Gallaghers. You didn't hear from any of the folks that talk about, oh, crime is not, it's going down. But how many shootings and how many murders did we have from last week to last night? And start asking your questions. Well, why come we're not talking about those things? Now, the news is putting it on. They talking about it, but we don't have the commentary. Now, if that was Michelle Woodfork, if that was Warren Riley, if that was Sean Ferguson, y'all would be standing there with microphones saying, what's wrong with your crime plan? Or where is it? Y'all be asking the questions. But you all let this lady go out of town every week and ain't nobody saying nothing. She go out of the way. Her parents are old. Got one living in Memphis, and she go to see him every week. She's not here. I know what I'm talking about. I know some folks are like, boy, how you know all this stuff? Da, 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 da. Trust me. And I'm not faulting her for that. You got to go check on her parents. I'd be checking on mine too. But you got a job to do. You got a job to do. I am hoping and praying that on tomorrow, that nobody gets into a situation where you're hurt or harmed. Your children are not hurt or harmed. As well as today, the remainder of the day. Because I have no idea what, is going on out there. I'm not going out there. I was out there Friday night, and that was enough for me. I'm going out there tomorrow, though, because I'm going to be by the Bagnaris Law Firm. We're going to be on Jackson Avenue tomorrow, 1929. Y'all come on by, 1929. We're going to be out there. DJ Susie B going to be on the ones and twos. They're like, who is DJ Susie B? Suzette Bagnaris got her DJ equipment out there, y'all. She got banners and everything. Y'all think she playing. She got a playlist and big old speakers. We gonna be, y'all talking on the floats? King, Queen, Zulu, y'all talking on the floats? We gonna be walking up to you with the microphone. You ain't got to get off the float. We just gonna hand you the microphone. So you can say hello to everybody. We gonna be out there early tomorrow, 1929. Jackson Avenue. Gonna be on the balcony. The other thing, too, on a serious note, and I say this every day that I'm here. There are a lot of folks, and this one gets to me because we live in an area of the country where we are manufacturing some of the most deadliest chemicals, some of the most nastiest stuff, some of the things it's gonna kill you. I don't care how good you getting paid, you gonna die. You catching cancer, mesothelioma. You catching all these different diseases because those chemicals don't mean your body any good. You're absorbing them in your skin. You're inhaling it. I saw something the other day that made me go, oh, Lord. And that was, I'm going to tell you what it is. These companies are bringing in quartz and ivory, and they're going to your house, and you're getting all of these different countertops made, and they're going back and cutting it and doing all this. And when they're polishing it, you got black guys that are sanding the stuff down so it'll be smoothed. It smooths it out. The machine itself is a water machine. It actually puts 60,000 pounds of pressure on the quartz and cuts it. Well, when it finished cutting the quartz, these guys with these saws and all of these different drills and stuff, they smooth it out. And it delivers not only a smooth feeling to your quartz or your ivory, it has a lot of issues because all that stuff is flying around now in the air from that drill, smoothing it out. And they're inhaling it because they're not putting on any type of, I guess, guardware over their mouths and in the nose. So they're inhaling it. And now a study is coming out saying that these guys are susceptible to some type of cancer or lung problems because they're inhaling quartz. And it's going to kill them. I saw that the other day on a 30-minute program. What was that? NOLA something. I forgot what it's called. And I was saying to myself, do they know what they're doing? And you could see them sitting there just like they're doing. Smoothing it out with no headgear on, nothing protective. They're just smoothing it out, doing their job, and making themselves susceptible to be sick. Watch out. Watch out. And pay attention to your surroundings and what you're doing at work, too. That's why I have taken it upon myself, just like Suzette has and all the rest of us, to let these folks know in that food stamp building in Harvey, y'all, that building was full of asbestos and they didn't tell you. If you work there, I know the word getting around because I can tell by the phone ringing. I got the phone. Call the phone number. 504-810-3995. Call the number so we can get you them papers. Because you, my friend, may be sick and don't even know it. I hope not. I pray for you, but you may be. All right, that's going to wrap things up for me. I appreciate everybody for being a part of the show. I'm glad we got this conversation out because it needed to be had. Tomorrow we will not be here for Mardi Gras, but if you're going to be out in them streets, be safe. Be safe. Hopefully I'll see a lot of y'all on tomorrow too. So we'll be back live on Wednesday. Y'all be good.